I'm doing a review on the Roseanne Reboot. It's already 3 episodes in for season 10 of Roseanne, and I am loving it. I still find the show funny from what I remembered. In the first episode, Darlene and her children, Harris and Mark, move back in with Darlene's parents. Obviously, Roseanne and Dan, of course, when Darlene loses her job in Chicago. Jackie and Roseanne reunite for the first time since their feud over the 2016 presidential election. DJ is married and has a daughter named Mary. Now, Glenn Quinn, who played Mark, the older brother of David, passed away on December 3rd of 2002 from an accidental heroin overdose. So of course they killed off his character. Mark and Becky were married. Now Becky is a widow working at a restaurant and being a surrogate to Andrea, portrayed by Sarah Chalk, who played Becky number 2. Then there was the whole them being the same Becky jokes. Becky said, I mean, look at us. We could be the same person. Second episode, Dress to Impress. Mark, Darlene's son, who was named after David's brother Mark, so he's Mark Jr., is a cross-dresser who enjoys wearing girl clothes, but his family worries about him being bullied. Mark took a knife to school since someone picked on him. Dan at first was skeptical at first, but grows to respect his choices. It was funny at the end of the episode, Dan says, okay, the kid can wear skirts, but he needs to put on some underwear. Mark doesn't wear underwear. Darlene told Mark being weird is cool. You know, we live in a society where it's okay for girls to be tomboys, but when it comes to straight males who like to wear girls or women clothing, they get judged because they don't think it's manly, gay, or pathetic for a male who want to feel comfortable or try and see what it's like to wear girls and women clothing. I mean, if society doesn't have them with women and girls being tomboys, then what's the big deal about males in general who wants to wear women's clothing? They're not hurting anybody. And I think that's sexist and screwed up. And some parents may say, oh, it's just a phase. They'll grow out of it. Okay, some might, but what if they don't grow out of it? What you gonna do, stop loving your sons because they like to cross dress? And I'm sure there are some girls out there and women who think it's cute or fine or adorable for males to want to wear girls or women's clothing. Meanwhile, Andrea interviews the Connors about their genetic history. The third episode, Dan fixes a chair for Roseanne to use, helping her go upstairs better. She refuses to use it since it makes her feel even older. You can't blame Roseanne for that. As for Harris, her behavior and attitude is a big problem. She even refers to her mother, Darlene, by her first name. Yes, she calls her mother Darlene. She doesn't even call her mom. She also doesn't even call Jackie and Jackie. She just calls her Jackie. Especially when she said, thanks, Aunt Jackie. Jackie replies saying, please call me Aunt Jackie. It's the only title I have. And don't get me wrong, there's probably some parents who let their children call them by their first names instead of calling them mom or dad. And if you have parents that allow their children to do that, they probably do that because they want to be best friends, really close to their children, to gain some type of friendship with their children. I mean, I get that. But at the end of the day, parents are not supposed to be friends with their children. Harris, she's something else. I mean, she called Roseanne a stupid hillbilly. And then Roseanne got back at her talking about she entitled biatch. Ooh, Roseanne calling her granddaughter entitled biatch. And then she giving her little hillbilly spa, spraying her with water on her sink. And then she tells Darlene what happened. Darlene tells Harris that she needs to apologize to her grandmother. Then she yells at her by telling her, say it. And apparently Harris is not happy living with her family because she never expected this to happen because she misses her friends and hanging out with them and whatnot. The characters are pretty much still the same. Roseanne is still Roseanne. Dan is still Dan. Jackie is still Jackie. Darlene is still, well, I don't know. I mean, Darlene, she is a bit different since she's a mom now compared to what she was Roseanne, she's in her 60s and she looks good for her age. She really does. Becky still looks exactly the same. And she's only 43. She's in her 40s, but she doesn't look 43. She look like she's still in her late 20s. We talk about black on crack. This is white on crack. It can be all kinds of crack, whether you're black, white, Asian. This is white on crack. She still looks the same. Sarah Chalk, she still looks the same. Sarah Gilbert, Darlene, she still looks the same, but she looks tired. And when you look at her in the eyes, like around her eyes, she looks really tired. Like she's exhausted and she hasn't got enough sleep. And I know she was on that The Talk on CBS. I don't think she's on The Talk now since she's back on Roseanne. I think it would be definitely hard for her to still do The Talk and still do Roseanne at the same time. But she does look like tired, like she hasn't gotten enough sleep. But she still looks the same. But anyways, this has been my Roseanne Reboot review. Tell me your thoughts on the Roseanne Reboot. Are you glad that the show is back? Do you find it still funny? Tell me your thoughts on Darlene's children and Mark cross dressing.
Now, Lacey, I want to turn to you because you originated the role of Becky. You left the show, you came back, you left, you came back. I can't keep track, but
It's confusing.
it is a little confusing.
Yeah.
And now you're next to the other Becky. But I want to know if this is true. I read somewhere that when you left the show, you didn't watch it. You didn't even watch the finale, and it was only in recent years that someone told you how it ended, and it was a spoiler alert for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I just kind of stopped watching TV in general for a while. But, you know, when I heard like the lottery and then when I heard Dan died, I just thought, oh my God, that's horrible. That's so horrible. No. But
Well, what's it like being back with your TV siblings and your TV family, really?
it is, oh my God, such a blessing, such a huge blessing. These people, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, you know, how talented everyone is who I'm working with, which is one thing, but just as individuals, you know, I live on the other coast and I don't get to see everybody. I'm trying not to cry. But just being back with my family is just something really special to me. Aww.